What's up guys? Today we are upstairs in my house as opposed to the usual, which is downstairs in my office. And that's because we're going to be taking on a project that, to be honest, I likely should not have let become a project at all, and that is my home network. The primary offender is actually over there in the corner of my living room where I have my modem, my router, and other gadgets set up in order to kind of broadcast to the rest of the house. The problem is that this house is fairly large. There are definitely some dead spots. And also, that corner is a gigantic mess that I should never have let get that way. But when ASUS reached out to me and said, hey, do you want to take a look at our new AI mesh home networking routers? I said, absolutely, send them over. So we got them on the table over there. We're going to set them up today, and we're going to see what kind of a benefit they provide. Got one of these and need to know how to cool it? Check out Enermax's all-new LickTech TR42 series of coolers, featuring a full-cover copper baseplate, rubber vibration dampening radiator pads, and an all-new block top design with addressable RGBs. The LickTech is designed specifically for the new Threadripper 2 series of CPUs and comes in both 240 and 360mm flavors. Check out the link in the video description to learn more. Before we get into the hardware, let's first take a look at the problem. And, well, that's not the problem. That's indie. But anyway, this is the problem right over here. This corner is where I have all of my networking stuff and also some a cat box, a cardboard box for my cats because they seem to prefer this to the actual beds. And then we have some baskets of toys. We have another basket with some blankets and stuff in it. We have this end table right here with some stuff on it. So here's all the networking gear, and as you can see, it's just basically a pile of stuff on the floor. There is my Netgear modem, there's my Linksys router, there's Indy coming over to say hello. There's a power strip down there that's just kind of a bundle of wires. There's a Philips Hue module. There is a power line adapter, which I do need to keep because my 9-to-5 work router actually requires a hardline connection, so we are going to have to replace that. But this is a Linksys AC1900 router, and it does an okay job, but unfortunately, it's not providing the coverage that I need. And additionally, obviously, this space is just a mess. So we're going to want to try to correct all of that stuff. And let me show you what I mean by some dead spots. So in the interest of establishing a baseline, I just ran a speed test. I am hardwired into the modem right now. I will run it again, I guess, but I have Comcast Gigabit, which is supposed to be gigabit down, and then I think it's only supposed to be 25 up or something along those lines. But obviously it was getting better than that. But so obviously we're going to be dealing with a Wi-Fi as opposed to hardwire, which is going to definitely be slower. But the problem is, given the performance that this connection is capable of, the speeds that I'm seeing over the AC Wi-Fi connection in other areas of the house are just abysmal, and I want to try to correct that. So obviously we're dealing with some decent download speeds here, and we're going to try to get as close to that as we can by using Wi-Fi. For comparison, we are now on Wi-Fi, if this camera would focus, as opposed to being hardwired, and we'll see what this connection can do with a very short distance. The router's right there, and then the PC is right here. It's probably only about 5-6 feet away. So 557 down is definitely within the realm of what I would call acceptable for a Wi-Fi connection. And the problem that I'm facing though is that this is nowhere near what I'm seeing in other rooms of the house. So this is an app called Wi-Fi Sweet Spots, and it does an adequate job of measuring speeds as you move around. It's supposed to tell you where the highest speeds are in your house, where the Wi-Fi sweet spots are. So right now, the router modem are over in that corner. That right up there is where I had the laptop set up, where I got the 500 and change megabits per second speed when we did the Wi-Fi test just before. Now, cell phones aren't necessarily going to give you the same max throughput that you would see on something like a laptop Wi-Fi solution. However, as we move around the house, you'll see, I mean, clearly there are some dips here and there, but generally you'll see a trend. So I'm moving further away. Right now I'm in the kitchen and we're at 130, something like that. So we've already dropped like 80 megabits per second. We're moving back towards the living room, but we're gonna make a left. And you should start to see it drop as we get further away. And now we are at the front door. 50s, 60s, kind of moving over towards the sitting room area. This is moving back towards the router just a little bit. But you can see that we're way down from where we were. And then if we go downstairs, I'll show you where the real problems are. So actually, again, moving back kind of towards where the router is, now in my office, as you guys can see. And the router modem is actually directly above us right now. So again, speed's coming back up in the 200s. But then as we move this way in the house, you'll see speed start to drop. And we're going to get into the utility room. And things will just get real bad. So now we're down into the single digits, 2, 2.8, jumped up to 30, but 8, 12. So I actually had tried to, when I was doing some testing as far 0, so 0, doing some testing for, when I was making my video that I made on like what is mining, I actually tried to set up a mining machine in this room and I couldn't because the speeds are just atrocious. And if I run a speed test in here, I mean, I think that's even generous considering everything that I've seen in the normal course of trying to do stuff in this room. And then the upload speeds are generally like not even existent sometimes. Come on, you can do it. Yeah, 0.3. So obviously we got some issues with some dead spots in this house. So how are we going to fix this? Well, Asus sent over a couple of things, but the main highlight is 2 of their AC86U routers. Now, the AC86U is an AC2900 router, which means that just by itself, one of these will be faster and provide more bandwidth than the Linksys router that I'm currently using. But 2 of them will form what's known as a mesh network. Now, mesh networks are maybe something that you are familiar with already. There are a number of mesh networks that are just sold as such, like Google Wi-Fi is a mesh network. You set up a base station, you set up little satellites, and it basically bounces the signal off of the satellites to fill up what otherwise would be coverage holes in your house. What Asus has done is actually any of their latest routers you can purchase individually, and then if you feel like there is a dead spot in the house, you could just buy another one and they automatically will form a mesh network with some minor configuration in software. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace the Linksys router that's over in the corner there with one of these, and then I'm going to put the second one of these downstairs in the basement in my office to hopefully spread the Wi-Fi signal a little better, get coverage in some of those dead zones down there, and hopefully get some faster speeds as well. Asus also sent over a couple of accessories to use with this setup. They sent over an AC68, which is their USB Wi-Fi adapter, and they also sent over their AC88, which is a PCIe Wi-Fi adapter with a base station. So hopefully the use of these two in combination with the better signal I'm going to get from the routers will actually provide me with much better blanket coverage throughout the house. I can use this because it's fast enough. I hopefully can use this to power Wi-Fi in some of my testing systems and systems that I build just for like monthly builds and stuff like that, as opposed to having to hardwire them. This I'm not so sure what I'm going to do with just yet, but I'm sure I'll find a use for it. The first thing that I definitely need to do though is to rectify this mess over here, and we're going to see what we can do as far as cleaning everything up, getting everything a little more organized, and hopefully things come out looking a little better than they do now.
A few moments later.
And ta-da! I'm terrible at reveals apparently, but here is the new setup. I got this is actually like a kid's bench with supposed to be for shoes and whatnot, but I found it on Amazon. It was white like I wanted. It was the dimensions that I wanted, and it allows me to store these 2 baskets of pet toys. But the more important thing is that we have a much neater networking setup. Now, I thought about putting the power strip behind everything, but I need access to it, and my wife needs access to it to plug in chargers and lamps and whatever else. So I decided to just kind of double-sided tape it in place there. But here is the new router, and then the modem right next to it, so I have easy access to see all the lights and see what's going on there. We got my Philips Hue base station there. So overall, just much cleaner, much less clutter, much easier to access basically everything, and I'm happy with it. To pair your 2 routers, because right now we have one there, that's our main router, and then this is going to be our node that we're going to put downstairs. We have our management page. We click on the AI mesh node button down here, and then it comes up with this little search box. You're going to search for the node that you want to add to your network. It finds this, and you hit apply. And this goes to work. When it's all done, you see this little notice here, successfully added router number to your AI mesh system. And this had to reboot and do a whole bunch of stuff, but give it a minute and we should be good to go. And then I'll throw this downstairs and we'll do another walkthrough test and see if speeds are any better. All right, so we're gonna do our walk around again, and I am not entirely sure as to what is happening right now, but we are over in the living room with the new router over in the corner, and holy moly, look at the speeds that we're getting right now. So we're going to just do the same route. We're going to walk around and maybe see some more of my animals. Apparently that's Atari, but we're going to go into do the same route as we did before. So we're in the kitchen now. We go to the corner of the kitchen, and then that's Newman. And we'll go out towards the front door, over into the sitting room. With average speeds are just much higher than they were before. Then we'll try downstairs. Now, I don't know how quick the switching is going to be between the router upstairs and the node downstairs. So I'm hoping that it's relatively fast, but clearly the speeds are, again, just maintaining much higher than they were before. And this is the real test. We're gonna go through the basement, and we're gonna go towards and then into the utility room. See here as we get, oh, okay, I guess it must have just connected to the other one. Let's go into the utility room. Wow, now that is a difference. I am impressed. So that's it, guys. That is my video on ASUS's new AI mesh technology and their new routers. I know that here in this house, for my personal use case, this new setup is going to make a world of difference. Not only do I get faster speeds here, but I could get more coverage throughout the house, which is really what I was going for. Is it something that you guys might be able to use in your home networking setup? Let me know down below in the comments. Also, don't forget to check out the new merchandise store link down below. Become a patron if you want to help support what we are doing here. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.